You think you know WWE? Think again. What Triple H and WWE management just announced is going to flip everything you thought you knew about sports entertainment completely upside down. And I'm telling you right now, some of you are not going to like what I'm about to reveal. In fact, this might be the most controversial decision WWE has made in decades, and it's going to change the careers of your favorite superstars forever. Welcome back to Wrestle Scope, where we don't just report the news, we expose the truth behind it. Let me hit you with this right now, because this news is spreading like wildfire and WWE is trying to control the narrative before the fans completely lose it. Triple H, Paul Levesque, the man who promised us a new era of wrestling, the man who said he'd listen to the fans, has just greenlit modifications to WWE's structure that nobody saw coming. And here's what's going to make your blood boil. These changes were made behind closed doors, without consulting the locker room, and they're going into effect immediately. We're talking about fundamental shifts to how matches are booked, how championships are defended, and get this, how talent is going to be selected for premium live events moving forward. The so-called Triple H era that we all celebrated, well, it looks like corporate WWE is still pulling the strings, and Hunter is just the face they're using to sell it. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another clickbait wrestling channel, let me tell you something. I've got sources, multiple sources from inside Stamford who are furious about what's happening. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this could be the beginning of the end for the WWE we all fell in love with. So what exactly are these game-changing modifications? Let me break it down for you. And trust me, each point gets worse than the last. Modification number 1. The new match structure protocol. WWE management has implemented what they're calling an entertainment optimization algorithm. Yes, you heard that right, an algorithm. They've hired data analytics companies to determine match lengths, finishing sequences, and even which moves get the biggest pop from the audience. This isn't wrestling anymore, folks. This is corporate America treating our passion like it's a Netflix show they can A/B test. Gone are the days when wrestlers could call matches in the ring, adapting to the crowd's energy in real time. Now, agents are handing out scripts with predetermined spots that must happen at specific timestamps. One source told me that a top superstar recently pushed back on this during a live event, and they were threatened with a spot on main event. That's not the Triple H we thought we were getting. That's Vince McMahon 2.0 with better entrance music. Modification number 2, the Championship Opportunity Matrix. Here's where it gets really controversial. WWE has introduced what insiders are calling the Championship Opportunity Matrix, a point-based system that determines who gets title shots based on social media engagement, merchandise sales, and segment ratings rather than traditional kayfabe wins and losses. Think about that for a second. Your favorite wrestler could be on a 20-match winning streak, putting on 5-star classics every single week, but if their t-shirt isn't selling or their Instagram engagement is down, they're getting passed over for someone who went viral on TikTok doing a dance challenge. This is the death of meritocracy in professional wrestling. This is WWE telling us that being a great wrestler doesn't matter anymore. What matters is being an influencer who happens to wrestle. And before you defend this as evolution or moving with the times, let me ask you, is this why you started watching wrestling? To see who has the best social media team? Modification number 3, the premium live event selection process. And now for the absolute worst part of these modifications. WWE management has restructured how talent gets selected for premium live events, and it's not based on storylines, it's not based on talent, and it's certainly not based on what the fans want to see. They've created what they're calling tier classifications for their roster. Tier 1 superstars are guaranteed spots on every premium live event regardless of their current storyline. Tier 2 performers only get selected if there's room after the Tier 1 talent is booked. In Tier 3, they're basically told to wait for their opportunity, which might never come. Here's the kicker. These tier classifications aren't based on in-ring ability or years of service or even crowd reactions. They're based on a combination of corporate partnerships, outside media appearances, and wait for it, how manageable the talent is backstage. Translation, if you don't smile and nod when creative gives you garbage, you're getting buried in catering. Now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds bad, but maybe it's being exaggerated. Let me tell you about the locker room reaction that WWE is desperately trying to keep quiet. Multiple veterans have reportedly held private meetings expressing their concerns that these modifications are destroying everything that makes professional wrestling special. We're talking about former world champions, Hall of Fame level talent who've been with the company for years, and they're being told to shut up and fall in line. One particularly explosive story that's circulating involves a main event level star who went directly to Triple H about these changes. According to sources, the superstar laid out all the reasons why these modifications would damage long-term storytelling and in-ring psychology. Triple H allegedly agreed with everything they said, but responded with something that should terrify every wrestling fan. "My hands are tied. This is coming from above me." Above him. Think about that. Triple H, the chief content officer, the man who's supposed to be running creative, is admitting that he's not actually in control. So who is? Nick Khan, the board of directors, Endeavor executives who see WWE as just another content property to be optimized for quarterly earnings? Younger talent are even more frustrated because they came to WWE specifically because of the Triple H era's reputation for respecting wrestling fundamentals. Now they're being told that their matches need to hit specific engagement metrics, that they need to create viral moments instead of building compelling characters, and that their push depends more on their ability to play corporate politics than their ability to work. Several wrestlers have reportedly reached out to other promotions just to test the waters, and while I'm not going to name names because I don't want to cost anyone their job, let me just say this. If these modifications don't get walked back, WWE might see an exodus of talent that makes the 2019-2020 releases look like nothing. Some of you might be thinking, so what? WWE is a business. They need to make money. Get over it. And you know what? You're absolutely right that WWE is a business. But there's a fundamental question that needs to be asked. At what point does the pursuit of profit destroy the very thing that made people fall in love with your product in the first place? Wrestling works because of emotion. It works because we believe in the struggle, we invest in the characters, and we suspend our disbelief to go on a journey with these performers. When you reduce everything to algorithms and metrics and corporate synergy, you're not making wrestling better. You're making it soulless. Think about the greatest moments in WWE history. Stone Cold stunning Vince McMahon, The Undertaker's streak, Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania 30 victory, Kofi Kingston finally winning the WWE Championship. Do you think any of those moments happen in this new system? Absolutely not. Stone Cold didn't have Instagram. Daniel Bryan's merchandise sales weren't strong enough to justify his push according to traditional metrics. Kofi Kingston would have been tier 3 at best before his New Day success. These modifications that WWE management is implementing aren't about making a better product. They're about making a more predictable product. They want to minimize risk, maximize revenue, and create a wrestling show that can be sold to advertisers with nice, neat demographic data. But wrestling has never been about playing it safe. Wrestling is about taking chances on unlikely heroes, building stars from nothing, and creating moments that transcend the business itself. And here's the thing that should worry every single person watching this video. If these modifications work for WWE from a profit standpoint, every other wrestling company is going to start copying them. AEW, New Japan, Impact, everyone's going to look at WWE's model and think, well, if it's making them money, maybe we should do it too. This isn't just about WWE anymore. This is about the future of professional wrestling as an art form. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Triple H himself. When Vince McMahon retired and Hunter took over creative, there was this massive celebration in the wrestling community. Finally, we thought, someone who actually understands wrestling is in charge. Someone who came up through the territories, who respects the business, who helped build NXT into the greatest developmental system in wrestling history. But these modifications reveal a harsh truth. Triple H might have the title of Chief Content Officer, but he doesn't have the power that title should come with. He's being overruled by corporate executives who see wrestling as content and superstars as intellectual property, rather than artists performing a craft. And here's the really tragic part. Hunter knows this is wrong. Multiple sources have confirmed that he's fought against several of these modifications, but he's ultimately been forced to implement them anyway. So now he's in this impossible position where he has to be the face of decisions he doesn't actually support, and the locker room that once respected him is starting to lose faith. This puts fans in a difficult position too. Do we blame Triple H for these modifications, even though he's apparently not the one making the final decisions? Do we give him a pass because his hands are tied? Or do we hold him accountable for not standing up more forcefully, even if it might cost him his position? I don't have an easy answer to that question, but I will say this. Leadership isn't about going along with bad decisions because you're told to. Leadership is about fighting for what you believe in, even when it's difficult. And right now, the wrestling world is watching to see if Triple H is going to be a true leader or just another corporate yes-man. The WWE locker room needs someone to fight for them. The fans need someone to fight for the integrity of the product. And if Triple H isn't going to be that person, then we need to ask ourselves, what's the point of the Triple H era if it's just Vince McMahon's corporate structure with a different name attached? So where do we go from here? Well, there are a few possible scenarios, and none of them are great for WWE unless something changes fast. Scenario 1. These modifications stay in place, and WWE becomes increasingly corporate and algorithm-driven. The short-term result might be stable profits and predictable content, but the long-term result is a slow death of fan passion and creative excellence. You'll still have WWE, but it'll be WWE in name only, a hollow imitation of what it once was. Scenario 2. The locker room rebellion grows, and WWE faces either a mass exodus of talent or internal pressure that forces management to walk back some of these changes. This could actually be the best-case scenario because it would prove that the performers still have some power and that WWE values its talent more than its spreadsheets. Scenario 3. These modifications work from a business perspective, and WWE doubles down on them, fully embracing the corporate entertainment model over the wrestling model. In this scenario, we might see WWE stop calling itself a wrestling company altogether, fully rebranding as sports entertainment, with wrestling just being one element among many. And here's the scenario nobody wants to talk about. Scenario 4. Triple H, frustrated with his lack of real authority and tired of being the face of decisions he doesn't support, walks away. If that happens, WWE loses the last connection it has to the parts of the business that actually understand wrestling storytelling, and we end up with completely corporate management running the entire operation. I'm telling you right now, we are at a crossroads for WWE and for professional wrestling as a whole. The decisions being made in the next few months are going to determine what this business looks like for the next decade. Look, I know this video is controversial. I know some of you are going to defend WWE no matter what, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But I'm asking you to really think about what these modifications mean for the future of wrestling. Do you want a product that's driven by algorithms and corporate metrics, or do you want a product that's driven by passion, storytelling, and the incredible athleticism of performers who dedicate their lives to this craft? WWE has survived a lot over the years. They survived the steroid scandal, the Monday Night Wars, the death of territories, the rise of MMA, and even the Vince McMahon scandals. But I'm genuinely worried that they might not survive becoming just another piece of corporate content, indistinguishable from any other streaming show designed by committee and focus group to death. The good news is that it's not too late. WWE can still course correct. They can still remember that the E in WWE stands for entertainment, and entertainment requires heart, soul, and creative risk-taking. But they need to hear from us, from the fans who've supported this company through everything, who've bought the tickets and the merchandise and the network subscriptions. Your voice matters. When you comment on this video, when you share it, when you make your opinions known on social media, WWE is watching. They track engagement, they read comments, and they absolutely pay attention when fans start speaking up about things that matter. So here's what I need from you right now. If you made it this far, smash that like button, and I mean really destroy it, because WWE needs to see that fans are paying attention to this story, and we care about the direction of the company. Drop a comment below telling me, do you think these modifications are good for WWE, or are they the beginning of the end? Are you willing to support a fully corporate WWE, or do you want the wrestling company you fell in love with? I want to hear from everyone, whether you agree with me or think I'm completely wrong. And if you haven't subscribed to Wrestle Scope yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this story is just getting started, and you know I'm going to be covering every single development as it happens. The wrestling business is changing, folks. The question is, are we going to sit back and watch it happen, or are we going to make our voices heard? This is Wrestle Scope, and I'll see you in the next one.